in a world whose hosts cried out for a replacement to Thunderdome. The Top 10 is proud to bring you The Realist.
The Realist.
Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of The Realist.
The Realist.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I did not know that was coming. A nice surprise. Matt Nost, how are you?
I feel like shit.
Yeah, you are bouncing back. You got the flu. Not my responsibility. I thought I'd given him bronchitis, but no, it actually is the flu, so I'm safe.
Yeah, it's the flu. I'm still struggling with it now. I thought I was over the hill, and then yesterday we volunteered for like 4 or 5 hours.
Why?
And I think that taxed me.
Yeah.
Today I feel just dead.
Yeah.
And my cough was the worst it's been.
You got to stop pushing yourself, man.
And it's the only thing I've done. It's literally the only thing I've done.
All week, that's all you've done. You tried,
went to
you
two
thought,
movies.
try it out.
Yeah. I went to 2 movies.
Yeah.
Literally drove to the movie, walked in and saw it, and then walked back to my car. And the second one, that was taxing.
Okay, what'd you see?
I saw Shazam,
Okay.
and I saw Missing Link.
Okay. One word review on Shazam? Okay, one review on Missing Link?
Sadly, close to the same.
Damn. That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I could go into it more. Of the two, I think Shazam is a more entertaining film.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Missing Link is beautiful to behold.
Right, but not much inside.
It's just
It's a pretty box.
Well, it's just like, why this choice, this choice? It just reminded me of Box Trolls. Another
Yeah.
that I walked out of going, I know.
Yeah.
But the majority of the rest of their stuff resonates with me. Anyway.
And it's been great, yeah.
Yeah, so we are here to do the Realist.
The Realist, that's right.
The topic was set by a man named Jason Bradshaw.
Hello.
And he was kind enough to be one of our 3 members from patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10.
Wow.
And you can join in there as well if you'd like to be a part of it. And then I got Kevin Hills and you got Mitch Braille.
Mitch Brill, yeah. Interesting last name. B-R Hale.
Yeah, it's a hell of a spelling.
Yeah, and it's the topic is Brad Pitt movies.
Yeah, Brad Pitt movies. There was he gave us like 4 different suggestions, which is nice. Mm-hmm. And just like, you know what? I think this would be the easiest for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And they all chimed back in because lately it's been, some people just don't feel comfortable doing a list.
Right.
So it was nice. We had an easy choice for everybody. Brad Pitt. Let's see what they got.
Okay.
I guess I'll start this time.
Sure.
Let's see. First off, the problem with my list, I haven't seen 12 Monkeys or A River Runs Through It. Also, when double-checking for films left off it, seems everyone puts 12 Years a Slave on the list, and I can't for the life of me remember him in the film. He's got a really small part.
Yeah, it's not his movie at all.
No, I wouldn't put it on his top 10.
Agreed.
So anyway, we do the show the same way we do the regular one. So I'm starting this week. I'm doing my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we have revealed their personal top 10 list, we create the Realist between the 2 of us.
Hooah.
Number 10 is Inglorious Basterds.
That's a punt.
Oh, it's a punt?
Yeah.
Okay, easy early on. Number 9, Moneyball.
Also a punt.
Okay. All right. Looking at it, there's another one I'm like, I don't consider that his movie.
Okay.
But anyway, number 8 is Babel.
That is not on the list, so feel free.
I've actually never seen it.
Yeah, I saw it once a long time ago. Didn't grab my interest. Not one I would go back to. Him and Kate Blanchett, I think, are one of the many storylines in the movie. So
Yeah, set in Middle East somewhere.
Yeah,
I remember from the trailers, and I think I've seen 10 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I'm a sucker for Brad Pitt, and every once in a while he puts out one and be like, this ain't for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that one with Marion Cotillard.
Oh, yeah. The No, I forget what it's
Something
called.
along those lines. Is it on?
Oh, I'm Allied.
Allied, there
That's
you go.
it, Allied, yeah.
Didn't see it. I just saw the trailer and I was like, that does nothing for me.
Right.
Really should.
Yeah, and it kind of a middling movie anyway, so it made sense for it not to do.
But you have these two people. You
Yeah,
assume it's going to
you
be
think.
Oscar-worthy.
Yeah. World War II movies, tough to do nowadays, man. I don't think people have the public interest for World War II movies anymore.
Oh, baloney.
Okay.
I don't think it's the height it was 10 years ago. It's a cycle. We got a lot of them. We got a lot of good ones and a lot of mediocre.
I just think we're moving past World War II. It's no longer like a signifier for the generations that are coming after us.
Yeah, but we'll always go back to it.
We will. I don't know if 20-year-olds are going to go back to it.
I think movies will. Just because it's one of the few wars where you can clearly go, there was a good side and there was a bad side.
Well, I don't know anymore, but yeah, certainly. I agree.
Well, true. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's pretty rare when all sides agree. Listen, we know exactly who we were in this equation. It's kind of rare. So,
all right, fair enough.
that'll stand up to political correctness.
Yes,
There's no
agreed.
problem.
Agreed.
So that was my 8. What do you got?
Okay, Mitch, who wants us to know that he pronounced his last name Burhell.
Burhell, okay.
It's the Burhell. He just wants to make sure it's clear. He's not asking for promotion. He just want to make sure it's clear. Thanks us for endless hours of entertainment, and he loves listening to passionate people talk about movies, and he hopes to see us in Toronto if we get there. So number 10, burn after reading.
Nope.
Okay. Story-wise, it might be a bit messy, but I still had a good time with it, thanks in large part to Pitt's performance. It's a quirky, different side of Pitt we don't usually get to see, and his interactions with John Malkovich are hilarious. It's a Coen Brothers movie, I think.
Yeah, and then you got George Clooney with like the sex
Right.
chair thing going on the whole movie. It's a weird movie.
It's a very weird movie. It's one that I walked out of, and I've never walked out of a Coen Brothers movie. But
Wow.
I remember I was 20, 30 minutes, and I was like, I could give a fuck what happens. And I just walked out.
I mean, Brad Pitt's great in it.
Sure.
Playing this doofus.
Yeah.
It's amazing that he would just, sacrifice any sense of ego. It's just like, whatever, this character is a doofus.
Yeah.
I'm playing a doofus. You don't often see, unless they're going for, he is going for comedic effect.
True.
Not as much as like when Clooney does it, it's,
yeah.
brother, where it's like
Clooney's
hamming into
great
that.
at it.
Yeah, he is.
He's so good at it.
He knows how to turn it on. It's like selling, with like a George Lopez bug eye. Like,
I think that's the secret thing of Pitt, is that he can't do comedy, even though he's on Friends. I didn't like any of the episodes
that
he was
doesn't
on.
count. I've
And
never seen him on Jim Jeffries' show.
I didn't know he was on Jim Jeffries' show.
Apparently, he plays the weatherman.
Shut the fuck up.
But I don't know what that means.
Holy shit, I got to watch that. I had no idea.
I think he's been in like 7, 8 something episodes.
Oh, I'm going to find this.
Is it something like Deadpool 2? Where it's just such a quick.
Yeah. Oh, right. But he wasn't even, like Cool World, not good. Johnny, whatever it was, Johnny
Cool World,
Suede
I
or
got a
whatever it was.
soft spot in my heart for.
You do? Okay. Is it a Basinger's hot spot? Because she's hot in
It
that
came
movie?
out when I was in the 7th grade.
Okay.
And like I got dropped off at the movie theater a bunch. That's what me and my friends did. So I saw Cool World like 4 times in the theater.
Wow.
Dude, I saw White Man Can't Jump like 6 times in the theater.
No surprise there. That makes sense. That makes more sense.
But
All right.
so yours?
Yeah, number 9 is Killing Them Softly.
Not on here.
Ooh, interesting. I like this movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, upon first viewing, I thought this was just average, but when I revisited it a few years later, I found a lot more to enjoy. An enforcer hired to restore order after 3 dumb guys rob a mob-protected card game is my kind of movie. Pitt is great, and you also have great supporting performances by James Gandolfini, Ben Mendelsohn, Scoop McNairy, and Richard Jenkins. It's definitely worth a second look just for Mendelsohn alone. I agree. It's a fantastic film, surprisingly good film, a little more harder edge than you anticipate from a film with Brad Pitt in it. I remember enjoying a lot of this movie, surprisingly.
Yeah. I'm surprised he hasn't gone to this kind of more than once.
Agreed.
Or twice.
I wish he would.
Yeah. Although, given enough time, because he's always at least taking chances.
Yeah.
It's never, I need to put out this for safety's sake kind of thing.
Right.
He's always taking chances. So he very easily could.
Yeah, agreed. Number 8 is Ocean's 11.
Whoops. Screen just went black.
No worries.
You said it was your what?
8.
Punt.
Okay.
Not by much.
There it is. All right. What's your number 7?
7 is Tree of Life.
Not on the list, which is a shame. That's a damn good movie.
Is it?
I like it. I love it. But, because I'm a Malick, I'm a very much Terrence Malick.
You are. Thin Red Line.
Yeah. All the shit that even the stream of consciousness stuff he does now, Night of Cups, fucking love Night of Cups. So to me, anything Malick does, I thoroughly enjoy. So
It has so many hallmarks of things that I should just latch right onto and love.
Right.
And for whatever reason, man, I see all that everybody points out in these movies, and yet I am just not entertained.
it's not your jam.
I don't give a shit.
I understand.
I mean, think about something it's akin to There Will Be Blood, in that you're just transfixed on these slow stories that build and build and build to I don't know. Maybe it's the conclusions where Malick gets, especially
I think
Thin
it's
Red Line.
I think it's the way Malick gets there. It's so incongruent. It's so not connected a majority of the time that it feels like real life, where you catch only snippets of conversation with people as you move through your day, and you don't have a cohesive storyline necessarily to your day other than you're living it.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's what I always think of Malick's films nowadays. They're just like a bunch of days strung together in these people's lives. And once you leave the film, you'll never hear about them again. And that's just it. This is just it. It's weird. I know, it's weird.
I've never connected.
Yeah, I understand that.
I watch and I'm like,
completely.
especially Thin Red Line, because everybody's like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is cinematography. This is bringing that to life with just the doldrums of everyday life for these soldiers. Sometimes you're just sitting around in fucking weeds.
Yep.
And the wind is blowing. Like, I totally get that. And yet, nothing. Anyway.
Yeah. With Tree of Life, I like the father-son stuff that was explored, and the way that it leads all the way back to the conception of the beginning of time or Earth or the world. I like that the scope of it a lot, and what he's trying to say is a bit grandiose, sure, but I still enjoyed it. All right, which is number 6?
6 is The Punt, Ocean's 11.
Okay, cool.
A fun heist caper flick.
Yeah, I love this one.
Great ensemble cast.
Mm-hmm.
It spun off 2 sequels of its own and then a secondary franchise after that, if it ever took off.
With
but
Ocean's 8,
yeah, they tried.
Yeah.
That's how much fucking charm this thing has.
I think it still might get a sequel. I think it's certainly possible.
Did it do well enough?
It did decent enough. It didn't do great, but it did well enough for this kind of film. So
I never saw
it. It certainly opened higher than any of the other Ocean's films had. Opening weekend, it made more money than any of the other Ocean's films.
Yeah, but I mean, unless they're astronomical numbers now, all that is meaningless to me.
Right.
Because in 3 years, something will replace that.
Sure, of course.
And in
If they
2
make
years-
another one, yeah.
Yeah. Just as ticket prices go up and up and up.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I'm not. But same time, if they made enough money, sure, go ahead and make another one. You know, I wasn't one of those people that was outraged. I don't.
No, not
This
at
one
all.
didn't get as much as Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah. It made $300 million worldwide on a $70 million budget. So it made money.
Yeah, they'll make another.
Yeah. I feel like
Definitely.
they could.
And then if it does well on streaming services and
Yeah.
if whatever rental market there still is, red boxes.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is actually giving away physical, DVDs anymore, but
Yeah. I think there's one Blockbuster somewhere, I thought I saw.
I thought the last one finally closed.
Did they? Oh, all right. I have an endlessly entertaining flick with an all-star cast. It sits lower on the list simply due to the fact that it is such a large ensemble cast, and Pitt is mostly relegated to playing cool, which he does very well, and eating all the time. Oh, I don't agree with that. I think he does more in that film.
Yeah.
Rusty is like a big part of why this happens. He is controlling Clooney. He's the one that calls out Clooney when he realizes that Danny is doing this for Tess, and instead of like actually doing it for the money.
Yeah, doing the job for the job.
Exactly. So he more of the one who's not compromised throughout the whole movie, kind of co-leading these guys into this heist. If it wasn't for him, Danny would have fallen flat on his face, and Rusty saves the movie. So it is a little more than just cool and eating sandwiches. That being said, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say he also lends cool to the movie.
Yes, agreed. It's nowhere near as cool without him.
Well, if you're going to establish a tone, you know who's pretty fucking cool?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And he's, playing, opening up, and I love with the actors playing a poker game and just him looking down. He is eating the whole movie.
He is.
Whatnot. But just he establishes such a tone. You're like, okay. And you couple him with Clooney, just like done.
Yeah.
All right.
And the tattoo creeping out from his arm is
Yeah.
always cool to see
A
as
little
well.
bit of bad boy,
Yeah. I'll take Ocean's 13 over Ocean's 11, but I totally respect it being on the list. That's your number 6?
Correct.
That was the number 8 for me. So number 7 is Moneyball. That was the punt from earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He says, I've never been a big baseball fan, but luckily you don't need to be in order to appreciate Moneyball. It's an incredibly engaging film, and Pitt does great work in a very understated performance. I think he got nominated for this. Oh, no. Jonah
Hill.
Jonah did.
Yeah, Jonah did, for sure.
Yeah.
He may have. I'm not sure. I don't think so on this one.
Okay.
Maybe, though.
Did you like it?
Yeah, Moneyball, it's a good movie.
Right.
Yeah. To take something now that is so much a part of our life, started with a book, based on this story, the Oakland A's just trying to run the numbers and make up for their financial shortcomings. They can't afford all the biggest, best players.
Right.
So if we replace X with these three things, we just need to make up the hits, the RBIs, and then from there also running the numbers on we should never steal.
Right.
All these other small nuances of the game that helps increase their odds. You're always swinging, always swing, always swing. And it's super interesting in the fact that it's now altered the prism by which I view all sports. Looking at it, okay, so-and-so, I still watch the games,
right.
But at the same time, when you find out, hey, when he runs a 5-yard right across the middle, they have a higher percentage on the right hash as opposed to the left hash. And you're like, really? That's really interesting.
It's all those little things that you didn't think about that were like, what the hell?
Or you noticed it other times.
Yeah.
And this is something either you've never noticed before, and it's like, oh, he does get away with that a lot.
Right.
That's amazing. Or, this dude hits from 12 feet all the time. This is his spot.
Yeah.
It's like, it always felt like that, but that's the specific spot. All right.
All right, if you say so.
Well, just you ran the numbers. I'm assuming you're not lying to me.
Yeah. 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 It got nominated for a number of best picture of the year. Brad Pitt was nominated.
Okay.
Jonah Hill was nominated as well. Film editing, adapted screenplay, and sound mixing. Those were the nominations. It didn't win any of them. It didn't win any awards except for Movie of the Year from the AFI. So interesting. And the African American Film Critics Association. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right, that was my number 7. So then my number 6 is 12 Monkeys.
Okay. He said he hadn't seen it.
Okay.
So
He said one could argue that this is Pitt's best performance, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree, but it's not a film that I go back to and revisit all too frequently. I agree with that. I think it's a good Terry Gilliam film, certainly the best film that he's ever done that's not like super quirky or weird necessarily.
Yeah.
And Pitt is fantastic in it. Madeline Stowe is good in it. Bruce Willis is good in it. And it does ask you a lot of questions in terms of like what you believe from who's telling what. I enjoy that. It's certainly one of the most understated performances Bruce Willis has ever done. And I always enjoy Bruce when he's understated. I think he's best when he's understated because he so radiates cool and like at any moment anything could happen that when he's chill and when he's exploring himself, I always enjoy those movies more. And Pitt has the flashier role for this. So,
yeah, Pitt's my favorite part.
no, really, it's like weird things with his hands and everything.
Yeah, this movie's never really been my cup of tea.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
But the overall quirkiness, I don't know. It still seems a little too abstract. Like when the scientists are interviewing after he's come back, but he can't remember.
Right.
And you're like, I understand you have an aesthetic,
Right.
but this doesn't even make sense. I don't know. It's like a weird, the steampunk equivalent of like, lab punk or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Just this weird, I don't know.
David Morse and everything.
Whereas
too.
Brad Pitt, I was like, man, I would love to have seen this Looney Tunes character just constantly hand moments, like the zaniness, the mania in his eyes is so palpable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my favorite part of it, but I never go back to watch this.
Yeah. I've seen it maybe 3 times. What's your number 5?
5 is Fury.
Not on the list.
Maybe he hasn't seen it.
Maybe he hasn't seen it.
Please see
Doesn't
it.
say.
It's really good.
Yep.
It's World War II, speaking of which.
Oh, Mitchell is a team manager of fraud loss prevention at TD Ameritrade
Sweet.
in Canada.
Sweet.
Interesting. Okay, go ahead.
Good for you, Mitch.
Good for you, Mitch. Way to be somebody. Way to accomplish things. You know, a couple of yahoos talking on a mic. Way to go, Mitch.
Is that a Virginia accent we all know? The famous Virginia accent? Hey, fucking Mitch. Mitchie.
Way to go, Mitch.
PD Ameritrade. All right, Mitch. Anyway,
So
Fury. It's about a tank. Guys, it's like this small world with the tank, and there's like 6, 7 guys. They all gotta coexist together, and it's really interesting to see the dynamics between all these different kind of versions of alpha males or pacifists that didn't want to fucking fight in this war anyway.
Now it's New York. Now it's New York.
Yeah, I don't know. It took a couple different permutations.
It did.
I don't speak extemporaneously in a New York accent all that often. It never
I'm
really
sure
comes
you
up.
don't. You don't strike me as the kind of guy that would.
No, I mean sometimes I do.
For shits and giggles.
So to entertain myself in the car, I'll do that. I'll say random. I'll create characters
Really?
and like entertain myself. Yeah.
Interesting.
My favorite one that's stuck with me the longest. So I did a George Lopez meets Larry the Cable Guy character. So it's like a Latino with a, here's your sign type of,
Right.
or, you might be a redneck.
Right.
His version of it, but the call by, like, the punchline was just San Bernardino. So I'd be in my car to be like, San Bernardino. Huh? And he does like really shit crowd work. Hey, what's that? A button-up T-shirt? All right, San Bernardino. Just drops it at the end of every punchline. So I just started writing the worst possible jokes that I could. So they would fail, and then
That's
his
great.
outclaws would just be, hey, San Bernardino. And everybody would be like, ah. That's how I entertain myself.
Bum bum ba
Yeah.
That's great.
San Bernardino. I heard it on some car commercial or something, and I just kept saying
that makes
San,
sense.
San Bernardino over to myself, and then eventually just became San Bernardino. And did that for a while, and then I created a character to say that.
Only at San Bernardino.
I drive a lot,
Yeah, I hear you, man. That's a good movie. I'm trying to talk myself into buying it in 4K because it's like $15 in 4K.
Oh,
But I don't know if I want to see it again. Like, I've seen it 4 times.
Okay.
And I'm like, do I really want to run and see this movie again? So it's not necessarily one that jumps out at me, even though I loved it every single time I watched it. It's not one that I go, oh, let me put myself through that again. Because it's a pretty hardcore film,
It is.
It
is.
what they go through.
It's all these dysfunctional dudes
Yeah.
in a war that they don't want to be in, but maybe initially, but now they've been stuck in this fucking tank
Yeah.
for months with these other assholes in this tight, confined space where death surrounds them at all times.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, Jesus.
I already work at Collider. Hey-oh. What's your number 4?
Well, what's your 5?
Oh, 5 is the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Slight punt.
Okay, fair enough. What's your
Big
number 4?
Short.
Not on the list.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, I'd put it lower because his part is smaller.
Sure. I would agree with that.
It's more Steve Carell's movie than it is anybody's.
Yes.
But it's the whole reason I went and saw Vice.
Yeah.
Because Adam McKay had done such a deft job of telling a complex story, and those little vignettes explaining, well, here's what a collateralized debt obligation is. And I remember these now.
Yeah.
To this, and the spokes in the wheel, and the staunches, and or trenches, that's what
Yeah.
it was. All these, should be bombarded, and the audience falls asleep, and yet he does it in a kind of keep you off kilter, entertaining, just with these, bam, celebrity, here I am to explain what the fuck's going on, and we jump back into.
Right.
But it was an interesting way to digest a lot of information that you need to understand why this was so bad.
Right.
And Pitt's good in it. He plays, a former trader who had been high up in that world and now is kind of living a reclusive life.
Yeah.
Wants to be off the grid
And
long term.
he's kind of training these two dudes, these two younger guys about the situation, right? And then,
Yeah.
they have a moment where they celebrate.
It's in Vegas.
So, yeah, in Vegas, succeeding something. And then he goes, no, don't celebrate this.
No.
Do you know what this means? This means this, this, and this. Yes, your company now thrives and survives, but the exchange is all this. So just understand this is the price for what you're doing. And you have to come to terms with the price for what you're doing. And don't celebrate in front of me.
Yeah.
I love that moment.
Because I think it's so many people are going to be like the unemployment rate.
Yep.
I want to say
Yep.
was the statistic he was tying it to.
And the
for,
foreclosures.
for every 1%, 50,000 people die.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
When you think of it in a macro sense like that, and you're affecting hundreds of millions of people, like, holy shit.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's a lot of
No,
weight.
it's
It's a lot of weight to carry. That was your number 4?
that was my 4, yeah.
Okay. My number 4 is Inglorious Basterds, the punt from earlier.
Oh, my 10.
Yeah. He says, definitely my favorite of the latter half of Tarantino's filmography, and Pitt really chooses scenario as Aldo Rain. His awful Italian Gorlami makes me chuckle every time. On top of that, this puts both Michael Fassbender and Christoph Waltz on the map for North Americans at least.
Sure. It's not a Tarantino.
It's such a
that
caricature. There's no depth to Aldo Rain at all.
almost every character in that movie is.
Yeah.
The woman's given more complexity.
Diane Kruger or
No, the
horror.
second half,
Yes,
the
she
cinema.
has the complexity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She has the only storyline.
Yeah.
But at that point, I wanted the Bastards.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't really care about this. I want to be with the Bastards.
Right,
or
right.
Christoph Waltz, who was awesome at it.
Yeah.
So was Fassbender and a bunch of other
Yeah,
people. But
sure.
it just where it ended up, I was like, shit, I came in expecting this.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being something, I don't know, my expectations weren't
Yeah.
what you sold me. You sold me a bill of goods, motherfucker.
You sold me a bill of goods.
It's called Inglorious Basterds, and they're on screen for what, 25 minutes?
Tops.
Yeah, tops.
Even our Sam Levine with his fresh face.
They used them all. They were practically the entire fucking trailer.
Yeah.
It was that, and then the downstairs scene with the Germans in the first act.
In the bar, yeah.
Yeah, that was in the trailer, if memory serves.
Yeah. All right, what's your number 3?
3 is The Assassination of Jesse James.
Oh, okay. That's the punt.
So
All
that
right.
was your, what, 5?
5, yeah. I love this movie, man.
Yeah, it's quality.
I wish this would come out 4K just for the cinematography. Just see that clear cinematography would be fantastic.
It will eventually, so long as 4K is still around.
God, yeah, I know, dude. I just saw, I saw 8K television the other day, and I was like, fuck you.
Of course.
Fuck you.
Of course.
It never ends.
Nope. It's never going to end.
I'm not buying again. This is it.
Bullshit.
This is it.
Bullshit.
I'm already from VHS to DVD was less, DVD to Blu-ray less, Blu-ray to 4K less. I start to become more selective as the media increases in quality.
Okay.
Because I start to be like, well, only certain movies I want to see at this high level of quality. I don't want to see Ace Ventura in fucking 8K. I don't give a shit. Like Field of Dreams out in 4K. I don't need to see Field of Dreams in 4K.
Although When Nature Calls, some of those Africa scenes would be pretty sweet in 4K. Can you imagine 8K? Fucking.
I love that. That's my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The 2 spears in his
I
legs.
still use that to this day sometimes, comparing things. It's so perfectly. It's like in basketball, the dude conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. You understand what they're saying?
At every level.
You do. Sometimes it's just like it's gibberish.
Yeah.
So you just assume it's guys, back and forth, and then the intonation hits you upside the head.
Session number 4, or is my number 4?
That was my 3.
Okay. My 3 is, he says for Assassination, I want to give him some love here from Mitchell. The Pitt is excellent as the title character, and Casey Affleck does great work as the awkward, almost weaselish Ford. Not to mention Sam Rockwell, Jeremy Renner, Sam Shepard, etc. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention Roger Deakins' beautiful cinematography. Some may complain about the pacing, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Fuck you if you complain about the pacing. It's a languid Western. Enjoy it, for God's sakes. It ain't all just shoot 'em up and shit. All right. My number 3 is Fight Club.
That's my 2.
Okay. He says, a fantastic film, and Pitt created an incredibly iconic character in Tyler Durden. There are so many facets to him: clever, funny, sexy, cool, weird, menacing, and Pitt plays them all to perfection. Agreed. This might be the best. Would you say this is the best Pitt performance?
Singular performance?
Singular performance.
It's tough, though, because it's like another one. Well, yeah, but he's not. He plays kind of a one note in that. I mean, it's...
This is my favorite performance of his.
Because usually when Pretty Boy decides to act dangerous,
right,
you're like, whatever.
You can see through it.
Yeah, you can. And this seemed very authentic.
Yeah.
Very real. And, once you see the twist, it makes even more sense for why he dressed like this or acted like this throughout the entirety of the movie.
He's at the height of his sexiness.
I mean, I'd have to look at all of his filmography, but it's up there for damn sure.
Yeah. I agree. It's a fantastic. What does he say about Fight Club?
Nothing. He saved all his notes for number 1. His number 1.
Okay. What's your number 2 then? Oh, your number 2 is Fight Club.
2.
So then my number 2 is 7.
That's his number 1.
Wow. All right. Let me give Mitchell a little bit of love, and then you can read all the stuff that he wrote. Mitchell, one of my all-time favorite films. There is nothing that I don't love about this movie. Pitt and Morgan Freeman work incredibly well together, but it's Kevin Spacey who steals the show as John Doe. It's dark and dour and horrific, and in my mind, a genius film.
Okay. And he wrote, this is one of Brad Pitt's strongest performances, wrapped up in a whodunit murder mystery with some extreme visuals. Ooh. Then in the last 30 minutes, they completely flip it on its head.
Yes, they do.
They really do. And the fact that Spacey had to convince them not to go out and do press.
Yeah. Right.
Like that. He's making all the sense in the world right now, guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to have, Kevin Spacey's in this, and then I'm thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah, where is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if he's not out doing press, but his name's on the post, he'd be like, I must have like a small part.
Right.
He's nothing serious.
Right.
Don't even, may not even notice.
I knew from the trailer that it was spacey because of the voice.
Oh yeah.
But which I was mad about, because when it happened, then I was like, oh, okay, I knew that it was going to be him, right? You're just like, oh, okay, it's Spacey. But that being said, the film is still fucking incredible, man.
It is, and what a great serial killer.
Oh yeah,
To base it on the 7 deadly sins and how he does that. The most jarring one is the dude that's been kept alive until he's this emaciated husk of his former self.
Yeah,
That one. When who is it? Is
John
it
McGinley?
Yeah, he goes in like, you're gonna roast in hell, you motherfucker.
yeah, you got what you deserve. Like,
He comes on.
John Doe's still alive. John Doe's still alive. Oh, it was so freaky, man.
Yeah, and then the doctor's assessment, like, he ate his tongue off long ago.
Yeah,
And his brain is tapioca. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a terrible hell.
yeah, right. And this guy put all these people through it for his own vision. And this is a serial killer movie where the serial killer is never caught by them. He turns himself in. He he's the one that surrenders to the situation, and then he's the one that gets the last laugh on both of them. He controls the entire movie.
Yeah.
He never loses. He wanted David to kill him.
Yeah, at the end?
Yeah.
He did.
All of
Because
it is done by him.
it completes his masterpiece.
Yep. And I love when he goes back at David in the car. And Pitt is tough to like in this movie. But he's supposed to be tough to like. He's
Yeah.
a young
He's a
hothead.
cop.
He's not smart all the time, but he's a hothead. He's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell he dragged or convinced or passive aggressively intimidated Gwyneth Paltrow to move into the city with him. And then the way he kind of pushes back at Morgan Freeman all the time when Morgan's just trying to teach him shit. So when it all comes down, that's the reckoning. And I still would love to see a sequel where we see David 10 years later or 20 years later. Like, what is he doing now? Is he still a cop? Is he still haunted by the situation with what happened to Gwyneth? Like, all of it.
Sounds like basically you just want to make Shot Caller,
Oh, yeah. I need to see that.
where he goes to prison.
Yep.
And then guess what, man? Prison changed him.
Right. Good point. Good point.
So he has nothing left to live for.
Yeah.
His wife is dead.
Yeah.
And maybe he just becomes, I don't give a flying fuck about any of you. He
Yeah.
just does that, or who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. All right. Then my number one then is Snatch.
Not on my list.
Wow. Fascinating. He says,
Fascinating, says John.
Mitchell says, I went back and forth between Seven and Snatch for my top spot, but ultimately I gave it to the film that is immensely enjoyable and also has a wonderful movie-stealing performance by Pitt. It's a performance that requires multiple viewings. As the first time I saw it, I needed to put the pikey subtitles on. Since then, I've watched it countless times, and it never loses its luster. Sharp dialogue combined with great performances all around, and you've got my choice for the number one Brad Pitt movie.
I mean, he's part of an ensemble.
Yeah.
So that would knock it down lower on my personal list, but it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
He makes that movie for me.
Agreed.
He comes on and you're like, oh, okay, Brad Pitt is going to do a pikey, and then it seems so honest, so real.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking like that, and you're like, oh, I love it when we at our London show. We brought up the fact that I brought up, gypsies are still a problem there.
Yes,
and
yeah.
Just the people are like, man, they're dirty. They take up space and then they steal a bunch of shit and then
Right.
they move on and they leave a bunch of crap. And you're like, yeah, I guess I would get sick of that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still weird to me that gypsies exist.
Agreed.
It's something that, from the 1700s on, they should have been slowly taken out. Maybe through the 1800s, but no
I
way
guess so.
modern.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like this romantic fucking notion of a band of thieves just wandering the countryside. Don't you just assume they have torches at all times?
Yeah, I would think so, yeah. Torches, I like that. All right, let's put this list together. That's their decision. Are you going to do it, Matt, with the writing?
Sure.
Okay. So number one, I had Snatch and I had Seven at number two. So would the Seven be number one then?
They'd probably go 7 than Fight Club
Okay.
because he didn't even have Snatch.
Right.
So, Jesse James, I've got at 3. You've
I've
got
got
that
it
at 5.
Yeah.
What did you have at 3 and 4?
I had Fight Club at 3, Inglorious Basterds at 4.
Well, then I would say Jesse James next.
Okay. Well, and
Because
then
Bastards,
Snatch?
I've got at 10.
And then Snatch? Or you want to put it at 4 or 5?
Nope, Snatch works.
Okay. 7's on there. Fight Club's on there, right?
Yeah.
Inglorious Basterds, or
That's
not
my
yet?
10. Where'd you have Moneyball?
Moneyball is number 7.
No, that's higher than 10. And then Ocean's 11, you had where?
8.
6-8. So 5-10 or 6-8?
6-8 seems more logical.
Okay.
If it was 5-9, I'd say 5-9.
All right. So Inglorious makes number 6.
Okay. Next highest I have is 12 Monkeys at 6.
I got Big Short at 4.
Okay.
And then Fury at 5.
Okay. That's our rules.
And I'm sorry, what was your next highest?
12 Monkeys at 6.
All right. 12 Monkeys it is.
Where are we at?
Last one,
Oh, okay.
which is your what?
We have Moneyball and Ocean's 11 on there, right?
Oh, shit. We didn't get Moneyball in there yet.
What? Oh,
That should go above.
yeah.
Where'd you have Moneyball again?
7.
Okay. Then 12 Monkeys makes 10.
Okay.
Fury makes 9.
Did we put Ocean's 11 on there? Did you have it on there or no?
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay, cool. All right.
And I guess number 8 then would be Moneyball.
Cool.
Done.
All right, awesome. Let's do this thing. The top 10 Brad Pitt. The top 10 Brad Pitt movies on the relist. Yeah. At number 10.
12 Monkeys.
At number 9.
Fury.
At number 8.
Moneyball.
At number 7.
The Big Short.
At number 6.
Inglorious Basterds.
At number 5.
Ocean's 11.
At number 4.
Snatch.
At number 3.
The Assassination of Jesse James.
At number 2.
Fight Club.
And our number 1 Brad Pitt movie on the relist is...
7.
There it is. I want to F you like an animal. Anyway, yeah, there you go.
So this will be our only relist for this month just
Yeah.
because of scheduling and whatnot.
And
We're not-
Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. And then John was sick before we left, and now I've been sick since
Yeah.
we got back.
Yeah.
So we're going to draw the names for the next relist, and we're just going to record 3 of them next month.
Absolutely.
So that way it'll give us the time to catch up on all our bullshit.
Sounds good.
So that is it, I think, for the relist this week.
Yeah.
Our thanks to Mr. Jason Bradshaw for choosing that list, Mr. Kevin Hills for submitting his, and Mr. Mitch, oh shit, what did he say?
Bear Hell.
Bear Hell.
Bear Hell. Not the Bear Jew, the Bear Hell.
That's pretty good though. Bear Hell?
Yeah, Bear Hell. I like that.
I like that name, Bear Hell. I did a show one time. This Indian kid booked it for, where was that? UCSD.
Okay.
And his name was Man Beer. And I was like, that is the greatest fucking name. Are you kidding me?
Man
Beer.
I like it.
I did.
How about Man Beer Bear Hell? That would be a
I know.
I don't know what to do with that name.
It's Man Beer.
You have to shoot him on sight just because the manhood is too much. All right, thanks everybody for listening to this episode of The Relist. You know, you can always be part of The Relist by being one of our patrons, and you can do that at www.patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. Remember, we're on our own feed, so please retweet, tell people, scream it in the Highlands of Scotland. Tell people to come and be a part of the top 10 on their own feed on iTunes and wherever you get your podcasts. Just look for the top 10, the number 10 there, and sign up and subscribe. We've got more live shows coming down the pike, a lot more news coming down the pike, a lot more content. So please get on board and be a part of it.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much to all that support us, and we will see you on Tuesday's regular show.
That's it.